Today, we're shining a light on an incredible organization that is truly changing lives, HABcore. If you're not familiar, HABcore provides permanent and supportive housing for individuals and families who are experiencing homelessness. It's truly near and dear to my heart since I deeply believe everyone deserves a place to call home. Home is someone's sense of security, but their work goes far beyond just providing a roof over someone's head. It's about restoring their dignity, stability, and hope. Joining me is Marta Quinn, HABcore's Director of Events and Engagement. We're going to talk about the real impact HABcore is making, how you can get involved, and why giving back is such a big part of what makes Monmouth County feel like home. Marta, please introduce yourself and how you got involved in HABcore.
I'm from Monmouth County, New Jersey. I'm a Jersey girl. My parents introduced being involved with nonprofits since we were little kids. I have 3 other sisters. My father was an EMT and my mother was a nurse. And we lived by helping people, always taking care of people. And my father started a company building and manufacturing ambulances. And we learned from a very small age, it's about giving back to the community and helping one another. So as my career progressed and I got more involved in my town where I lived, there was a nonprofit that was looking for more development and event planning. I thought I could really give more to them. So I applied, and thankfully I did get the job with HABcore, and I've been able to use what my parents taught me and my sisters to really try to give back and do as much as we can for others.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, HABcore's mission is really life-changing. What's a moment that truly touched your heart and reminded you why this work is so important?
There's truly endless moments for my time at HABcore. And this isn't a job for me. This is a reason. This is a purpose. And when I meet and get to know the people that live in our programs, it fills your heart because they're filled with hope. And if you can be that person to provide that to them or give them a hand up just to make one of their dreams come true and really see it, and it could be the smallest of things, the smallest milestone, but it's so big to other people. And if I can be a part of that and HABcore can bring more to people, it changes their lives and it changes our lives.
Homelessness can feel like such a distant issue until you see the faces and hear their stories. Can you share a story of someone who found stability and hope through HABcore?
It does feel like a distant issue. People don't realize that it is happening right in their backyard. They don't. They think it's across the country because the nation has been experiencing a lot. You know, not only since COVID, that it's really brought a lot of issues to the surface. People that are hungry, poverty, homelessness has really been an issue that people are now recognizing and seeing because they always thought it wasn't in their backyard.
Right.
And it can happen to anybody at any time. There was a gentleman, he was a young man, he was only in his 20s, that was struggling, that was homeless. And through other organizations in New Jersey and in Monmouth County, he was able to find HABcore because he was homeless. And he told himself, if I can just get housing, I know I can get a job. I know I can get this job. He was able to get housing within HABcore's program. He got settled. He applied for the job and he got it. It was at Monmouth Medical Center.
Wow.
He was a patient transport. But that goal for him was enormous. But that led him to say, if I can get this job, I'm going to go to college. I'm going to go to school. And he applied at Brookdale, local community college, got in, excelled in his classes, did so well. He said, you know what? I'm going to keep going. And one of Brookdale, the community college, their goals is to take a 2-year school to encourage you to transfer to a 4-year school.
Right.
And he did that. He just did that. He got accepted at the University of North Florida into the ROTC program. This is a gentleman who struggled in crisis, has a disability, but he believed in himself. And he knows if he just had one step ahead, he could continue in his path. So honestly, dreams really do come true if you believe in yourself and you really kind of accept the help from others. A lot of people are very prideful and they don't want to ask for help. But this young man said, I know I have a lot to do and I want to do it. So HABcore, because of HABcore, giving him the stability and the support that he can fulfill that, look where he is today. It's really amazing. It's amazing.
That is amazing. And that HABcore gave him that hope and that ability to excel. Because without your home, how do you go out into the world? And
it really is true. It is true. And people don't understand. People understand being hungry. They understand a food bank and I need food to live. But they don't always understand when you don't have a roof over your head, when you don't have a house or a place to go to live. Because most people have housing. But honestly, this can happen to anyone at any time. And we believe in there is no judgment at all. Doesn't really matter what happened behind you. It's all about where you're going to go. And if we can be that conduit to help you get there, life is all ahead of you. It really is.
So what would you say is a common misconception about homelessness in Monmouth County? Because you're saying it's in our backyard, right? What's that misconception that you wish more people understood?
You know, HABcore was created 37 years ago, started because 3 men froze to death in Red Bank, froze to death. And that was a shock to this community because they never thought it would happen in their backyard. And they realized, wow, how is this happening? So the reality is, you know, with the world, the economy, you know, housing, food, everything is so expensive. And if, God forbid, you have a situation where your health and you can't afford your rent, little things, big things can happen, little things that can then bring you to being homeless. You try to stay at a relative's house for a while. You know, you don't want to be inconvenient to other people. But, you know, one of the realities is happening now is there's a lot of people living in tent cities in the country, in our area. People don't understand. These are just people like you and I that have had a crisis that they haven't been able to recover from. And they haven't found the right way to get the help. Which is a beautiful thing now to know that there are more organizations in just Monmouth County alone that people don't realize that can really help you thrive and succeed. So people don't understand that it can happen to anybody, and they're just regular people that have had careers in Manhattan. They've had families with children. I mean, it used to be single men. Now it's full families, moms and dads and children, grandparents. People don't understand that full families can lose their housing. So we want to support the entire family, you know, mothers and dads and grandparents and kids. And especially if somebody, not especially, but when you have a disability, we want to make sure that our community, that where they live, has that availability for them to get to the hospitals that they need, get to the child care that they need. So it's really important, you know, that the community understand why certain things are in your town for help for other people.
You know, it's interesting. When we first met, I remember we were talking about what defines homelessness. And correct me if I'm wrong, if someone is couch surfing, they don't really have the ability to tap into what, you know, New Jersey could provide for them. And so they turn to HABcore. Is that right?
That's one of the cases. That's many of the cases. You know, there are lists that go out through the state that identify people in their different struggles. Some people need rental assistance. Some people need short-term housing. Some people need permanent long-term housing. So the state works with other organizations to really filter down the needs of people and what exactly do they need. Sometimes with the instance of the couch surfing, is they haven't found their path. They have other people to lean on, and maybe they don't have the funding behind them to really rent or purchase. And a lot of times if they're couch surfing, we don't even know they're homeless. They're not defining themselves as homeless.
Right.
So they don't know they can actually ask for certain resources.
Monmouth County has such a strong heart for giving back.
Mm.
What's something incredible you've seen the community come together to do for HABcore?
Well, HABcore started by the community.
Mm.
We started with good, kind people that said, we are going to help. And they were all volunteers from the community, from churches, business owners. They literally started this organization. That happens with a lot of nonprofits. People feel that they see a problem, they want to be the solution, they want to be part of the community to solve it, to be the solution. And that's what these folks did. That has not stopped. The care of this community has rallied around not only the people in their town, but they see it throughout Monmouth, Ocean, and all of New Jersey and the nation. We are feeling the need. And there's churches that come to their service that are extraordinary. They bring their entire missions team and they plant gardens in the back because fresh produce is something you don't always get when you've been displaced. And having more of a healthy lifestyle. So our community is coming. I mean, even right now today, for you to invite us for this conversation, you're engaging what you do and learning about what we're doing and how it really will affect every single person you touch. So we have had organizations like Monmouth Arts, New Jersey Natural Gas, Monmouth Park Charity Fund, a ginormous group of people that see the need and how they can get involved. We created this creative expressions for our people in the boarding homes. So these are folks that can't really live independently. And by bringing a creative opportunity into the home, allows them to have their comfort and their stability there with the community that came to them. It's changed all of us. It changed them. It's changed us because this openness and conversation and the feeling that the community cares about you, they're proud. They're proud. This is my home and I welcome you into my home. It's beautiful. And the community feels it because they're just people like you and I. And when this comes to fruition and they see what they've done, it doesn't stop. And that's so magical, is that we have been able to continue this creative process with Monmouth Arts and volunteers in the community to continue this now. It was so successful for them. We're going to do more. We got to do more. We got to do more. It's just really has been a beautiful experience for all of us, especially the residents. But having your true community care doesn't get better than that. It doesn't get better.
That's very true. And, you know, a lot of people want to help but don't know where to start. What's one small thing that someone could do to make a difference?
You know, the time that you spend, and time is valuable. And there's people that don't have a lot of time. And then there's some people that are retired that have more time, but they have a lot of experience, a lot of skills and different things they can bring to one, even having a conversation about things. A little time spent, whether it's making a Valentine's Day card or serving a meal, serving a lunch, even at your church, being a spokesperson to run a coat drive. Little things like that involve the community and they take it on personally and they feel that they have made a difference, and they have absolutely made a difference.
So can you share a time when a simple act, whether it's, you know, community effort or a drive or donation, volunteer, whatever it might be, made a massive impact?
Where do I start? Where do I start?
I'm sure there's so
many.
I
mean, because of the years, like I said, we started many years ago. And this little house that we started HABcore in is in Red Bank. And there was a woman who came with the house. She's still there. She's an extraordinary person, but she has been welcoming to every single person that comes in of that home, every visitor, every community member, every staff, that she has been open and heart. And she has taught us how beautiful life can be. And just by saying good morning and thank you for including us, it's giving her this extraordinary purpose as it gives us. So just one, and there are many, so many people. And there's one, and I will tell you, so HABcore is involved in helping people that live in the tent cities. It's very difficult. That's another topic that people don't understand, but they're curious, but they don't understand.
So describe what a tent city is for someone who's not too familiar with it.
There's people that's living in the wooded areas, literally with tents or makeshift tents that
in Monmouth and Ocean County.
Monmouth and Ocean County and throughout the country, but literally in Monmouth and Ocean County. And HABcore has been involved with this outreach program that we've been able to identify 300 people. And those 300 people, what they need, it's not just a house. Sometimes if you need your identification, you need your Social Security or disability card, or if you're a veteran, where's my DD-214 card? Our team will literally one-on-one work with you to get all of these so you can rebuild your life to come out of the tent cities. There was a gentleman that was in the tent cities, the tent community, for 2 years. And the reason he stayed and chose to stay is because he has his dog. And that's real. There's a lot of people that choose to live in that lifestyle because they feel so close to their animal. That's all they have.
And you're saying that because landlords make it a little difficult to rent with an animal.
That is correct. That is correct. However, our team was able to find him housing that allowed to have a pet. And again, it changed his life. He is able to live safely, more healthy, and to have his pet. That was a big deal. That was a big deal for all of us too, because we know how close you are to your animal. And of course, there's a lot of people.
Everyone knows how much I love my bunny.
I know. It's true.
It's like a family member,
you know, being able to, but that's the other thing too. And I so appreciate this conversation. And when you talk to realtors and they learn more about some of the struggles, they're an advocate for us.
Yes.
You're the advocate for people to talk to homeowners. And if they want to sell or they want to rent, would you consider a pet? Could you, because of the need?
And there's such a great need.
Yeah.
You know, you've mentioned, aside from HABcore, you're involved in so many community events like Porchfest. Tell us what that's about. It's so much fun. You know, how did that start? What's that story about?
Porchfest, thank you. I love Porchfest. I'm very proud of Porchfest. So Porchfest, the concept started years ago in Ithaca, New York. Very small town that said, we want to have some musicians play music on a porch. What? Fabulous. How do we do this? So it has spread from Ithaca, New York, around the nation, actually. And I've been involved with a lot of events, running a lot of concerts and big events. And I thought, we need Porchfest in Red Bank, because Red Bank is a perfect walkable community. Great people that live there. It's close to a lot of restaurants and bands. So many musicians live in this area. And I know a lot of them. So 3 of us came together. We organizers. We put together Porchfest. This is our 4th year. We have over 110 acts.
Wow.
So this event literally brings together the people living in your town that own the homes and the porches, and the community coming into it, and the community that are musicians and artists that play on porches all over Red Bank. We have the town of Red Bank involved, River Center, Count Basie Theater. It is truly a genuine community-filled event, and we select a nonprofit every year in the area that can benefit from that. But also, if we have an opportunity to educate more and more people about what's really happening in our town, it is a golden opportunity.
Oh, for sure.
So I've been very fortunate to be one of the organizers. It's myself, John Shepard, and Billy Portman. So we are the organizers. It's coming up October 4th this year.
How
and
exciting.
Again, we have music that are bluegrass singers, singer-songwriters, children groups. We've had the New Jersey Symphony participate. Any type of genre you can imagine we have, and it's going to only get bigger and better. But we find more people coming into the town to enjoy the restaurants and the community events. So it's good for everybody. Right. It really is good for everybody. So we encourage, come to hear the music, but go into town, eat, drink, have fun, enjoy, and actually learn more about what's happening in Red Bank.
That's wonderful.
It's great. It's
That's
wonderful.
Awesome. So what's one moment from your community events where you turned around and said, this is what community is all about?
Truly, it is Porchfest for me. It is Porchfest, although, churches in our area, they bring a lot of people together. A church is a very safe, beautiful place that it's meaningful and it's peaceful and it's important. And when I get the opportunity to speak about HABcore at a church, because we're very similar, we provide safe housing. There's no ego. There's nothing about your past. It's about where you are right now and how we can help you. And the people that come in and out of the churches right now just have this very kind way about them, and they listen and they understand it. And then they advocate to their families. I speak to children's groups because their parents are like, this is very passionate. And we have a lot of children in our program. But so I love being able to talk to the church communities, but also Porchfest, because you can bring so many people together with the love of music. And music does bring something to everybody. It's a memory. It's just the sound and the community. I love it. I love the artists. They all have good hearts, and all these artists do it for free. Not because of me. Well, I like to think it's because of me, but it's truly because they understand and they want to give back too. And this is their voice.
That's their way.
It's really beautiful. Yeah. It really is.
As a local real estate group, we believe in supporting our local community. Why do you think it's so important for local businesses to get involved with organizations like HABcore?
The people that work in the businesses locally live here. A lot of people live in the town with there. I mean, there's still people that commute in at Manhattan, right? But they live here. They live here. Their children go to school here. They want to invest in their town where they're bringing up their children and their families. And I believe by having them be more philanthropic and learning, even just being educated about what's happening in their backyard, it then trickles down to their children. And it's always about the next generation, how we can help others, because, there are a lot of kids that are struggling. And it's about being kind. But one thing I do know about businesses, and I encourage any company, any business, is that you talk to your staff and your employees and say, it's important. We support the community. I want you to learn more. Become a member of a board. Be part of the advisory board. Join an organization or find something that you're passionate about that this company can then either match or support you in your mission to be a better person. So I think companies have a larger voice. They not only can support financially if you have events, they can write the check, but then they bring their staff and their employees
and you're all
to
each
attend.
other. Yeah.
The more you learn, the more you know, and the more you know, the more you care. And truly, the businesses they know it. They have a corporate social responsibility, but I think by being more engaged personally, having your team know more, have a community day, a volunteer. I know we were talking about doing a volunteer day. One person can change a ton of lives. And if you bring a team from a business, they understand that they have made an impact. It's fabulous. We have a 5K on Fort Monmouth. And the reason, we're trying to find different avenues to have different events is because it's different interests from other people. So our first year, we had over 1,200 runners that had never heard of HABcore. And I love that because if I get to educate anybody, now they're all returning. I love that. I love that the businesses in the community rallied. They rally. And when they rally together, we're just stronger together. We are.
So if a business is thinking, I'd like to be involved, what's a small way to start?
I love the volunteer aspect. come to one of our homes, one of our boarding homes, either in Asbury Park or Red Bank. And once you come in and see and truly meet the people that have been with us for a long time, you understand. It's family. We're family. And they're as welcoming as we are. By even serving a meal, you understand. You get it. You just get it. Sometimes talking about it, you don't understand until you really meet someone that has said, this is where I was, but this is where I am now because of you. You can't feel more passionate about that. So volunteering, even by doing a drive or coming and volunteering at the boarding home, of course, attending one of our events would be great. That's an ultimate goal, but really it's about learning what we do first. And once you see what we do, and once you really see the impact of these people, then you're going to want to be more involved. You will.
You know, you're truly so selfless and you do so much to lift up other people. What keeps you going?
They do. They do. I have very fortunate. I believe in them. I believe in them. And I know struggle. I know struggles. I've been through a lot. But they keep me doing. And there's nothing I wouldn't do for them. There's nothing. And I'm really proud of us. And I'm proud of this community that has really opened their eyes. They've opened their eyes, they've opened their ears, and they've said, okay, we need to do more. If we can, we need to do more. So I'm very passionate about it. And you know what? Everybody needs help in life. Everybody. Doesn't matter. We all need something. So let's just come together and do it.
It's all about helping each other.
Such a crier.
We're all crying.
Such a baby.
The two of us. We need a box of tissues here. If you could inspire just one listener today to take action, what would you say to them?
Let's go to lunch. Let's have coffee. Let's just talk about this. And to be inspired, a lot of people have to be inspired by someone else or something else. Like I said before, music inspires people. People inspire one another. And when you met someone who's gone through such a struggle, and yet today their head is up, they're looking forward, and they believe truly because they have seen the change. To inspire someone is just by really meeting someone and hearing this. And I would encourage anybody to, I don't want to toss to our website, of course, but
please,
I would love
how could
to.
Someone find you, please?
Well, we're at HABcore.org. And just a little note, HABcore, it's HABcore, and the HAB is the initials of those three men that froze to death in Red Bank. So forever, we are believing in them, and it will never happen again in this area because there are organizations that come together. Monmouth County is, I've lived around the country here and there, but knowing the amount of organizations that are here for us, and people know and they care, I have never been more proud because we do work together. We have to work together, and it's pretty meaningful for all of us. It is.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I'm done crying. Thank you. Really, this has been a wonderful opportunity.
That's a wrap for this episode of All Things Monmouth County and Real Estate. Thanks for tuning in and being part of our community. If you loved what you heard, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. Have questions or a topic you'd love to hear about? Reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Until next time, stay inspired, stay informed, and enjoy everything Monmouth County has to offer.